Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with me on the channel. It's great to have you here again. Now, this is another in the series of welcome videos that I'm putting up just so you can get to know what I'm about. And I would love for you to subscribe and become a part of the channel. It would be great to have you on the journey because this is about content for the collective. This is about all of us. This is about where we're heading and what we're actually doing here. I'm very focused on helping us all find our soul mission. I think so many of us get stuck in the 3D of what we're doing and paying bills and being focused on those sort of things that we can forget our soul mission. Now, it's one thing I always put back to my guides going, yep, I love doing all this work, but I also have to pay my mortgage. And it's about getting that balance right. So one of the things that they want me to share with you, and this is not the content that I planned for this video, I've just been told to deviate a little bit. They want me to talk about the start of this year and content that I was given at the start of this year. So I do a bit of a reading for myself and my clients at the start of every month. And I do a big reading at the start of the year going, right, what's the energies, what's coming through, where do we need to be and where are we headed? So they want me to talk about the start of the year and what was coming through. They want you to understand those energies. So at the start of the year, I did a bit of a reading, or I was about to do a bit of a reading actually for my mastermind group. And I always get that sort of precursor. As soon as I put it out there that, right, I want to do a reading on this, or I want to talk about this particular topic, things start to drop in. Things start to drop in. And one of the first things that happened was, for the first time, the energy of Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary came in together. That hadn't happened to me before, having both of them together. And as I say that, the energy steps forward right now. Thank you for being here. But we had that energy come through at the very start of the year. And when we read into that, and when we got content on that, what I was told was that this is the year that us as women need to step back into what they're saying, what they're calling the divine feminine blueprint. We live on a planet and in an experience of duality that has masculine energy and feminine energy. That is not to say that only men are masculine and only women are feminine. That's not it at all. We have both those energies because we are all duality. And sometimes we're living in our masculine, sometimes we're living in our feminine. Those of us running businesses, which is so many people that follow me, we can often be running in that masculine energy, that energy of getting things done, hustling, ticking off the to-do list. And we can be running in that energy so much that it burns us out, makes us exhausted, can be a big part of why we're starting to burn out through what we do. We have to start embodying that feminine energy. And so much what they're saying right now is the feminine blueprint, the feminine energy of the blueprint is lacking on this planet. That the feminine energy was supposed to be a key part of the balance of the planet, and if not the lead player at some points in time. They're pointing right now to the fact that women are the child bearers, women are the ones who help us procreate, and that that is such a necessary part that really, in the scheme of things, maybe the feminine should have been, the matriarchal should have been, more the leaders than what we are. So it's a really interesting thing. We can work on that later. But that's what came through, is that to step into our power in who we are and in our businesses and the light that we bring in, our gifts that we bring to the table, that we need to embody that feminine energy and embody that feminine blueprint and bring it back. And that's what those energies of Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary and so many others as well. Those energies like Kali Ma is also another huge one, real warrior energy that she can bring to the table. So there's a lot that we can tap into. One of the guides I actually get a lot is Brittany, and she's actually an ancient Irish person, and the energy she brings through is very mothering, very nurturing, very grounded, and she comes through a lot when we're talking about this feminine energy side. So thinking about where we bring that feminine energy into our life and into our business and into the way that we work. they just want me to have a look quickly here. I wasn't going to play with any cards, but anyway, we will follow where we're being pointed. So bringing feminine energy. And one of the things they mean with that is also finding balance. Finding balance. Instead of always running on empty, trying to hustle and get all of the things done, creating a life by design, stepping into the power of who you are, and making sure that whether you're male or female, that you're embodying the female and the masculine, or the feminine, sorry, and the masculine energy, because everything is about balance. This planet is the planet of duality. So everything is about balance. We can't have one without the other. They're showing me right now the yin yang symbol, and you've got the white with the spot of black, and you've got the black with the spot of white. And they're saying one begets the other. You can't have one without the other. Okay. And it's in a circle, isn't it? Continuing circle, goes round and round. So these things can't happen in isolation. Okay. They've got to be, look, something just flew out. They have to be embodied. And interestingly, oh, that's what we want, things flying out. So as we're talking about this, the card that just flew out, the deck I've got is, let me just tell you, it's Denise Lynn. Here it is. Denise Lynn, Sacred Traveler is the deck that I'm using at the moment. And what we've got here is the card of passion and pleasure. And it says, savor your life. But just as I'm talking about the yin and the yang symbol and going round and round, this card flies out. And what have we got? People going round and round and round. And we've been talking about the masculine and the feminine. And what have we got here? We've got masculine and feminine energy represented with the fire in the middle. What's the fire about? The fire is about passion. It's about, that power that comes when we've got that intimate dance, that balance between masculine and feminine. So isn't that card spot on? The other card that fell out comes back to the whole point of what I was talking about from the very beginning. And it says, choose your path, choose your path. All is possible. And this is something that we really need to remember this year, because we can forget, we can get trapped, we can get stuck. Having been someone who worked in corporate for a long time, I know how easy it is to get trapped in that wheel of doing what you've always done because it's easier than making a change. I think post-pandemic years, we're opening up to a situation where we realize, hang on, there's more to life than this, that we can have more, we can be more, we can make it, like this card says, anything is possible, all is possible, and we need to start making those things happen. Let's see if anything else wants to come out of that deck. The interesting thing that I just got right then is dragon energy. Dragon energy. So when we're talking about following your path with power and with passion, where do we get a lot of power and passion from? Dragon energy. So that's coming through too. So let's see what else comes from these cards. Anything else to say on the energies of embodying our feminine energy this year, bringing it into our lives, bringing it into our businesses? Anything else we want to say on that, please? And interestingly, bringing in the energy here, we've got Archangel Jophiel. She's one of my main guides at the moment. I do find they change over time depending on where I'm at in my life and what I'm doing. And she's saying, remember to embody the creativity. Remember to embody the beauty. Okay, so that just fell out then. Yep. So what's really interesting is they're talking about right now how hard it can be for us to find our path. And the card that fell out is Desert Passage, and it said, trust that there's a divine plan. Sorry, can you see that? It's having trouble focusing. Trust that there's a divine plan. And what they were saying to me then was that we can often struggle to work out what is the right path. How do we move forward? We can feel like there's lots of options and our brains are so busy. How do we work out what our soul mission is? How do we work out what that path is? And that's when this card fell out. This card, which literally says, taking shelter, the answers are within. What this is a reminder of is that we can't find our destined path. We can't find our true calling when we are stuck in the busyness of everyday life. We can only find that when we go within, when we take time, when we step away from the things that are keeping the monkeys on the bikes in our brain running. We need to take time away from that. This is why, how often do you find that you might be taking a shower, you're washing your hair, and then you get a grand idea on something? You might have had something running around your mind thinking, oh, I need a name for a program, or, what am I going to do about that problem? And you'll be in the shower washing your hair and you'll get the idea. Or you'll wake up in the morning, and as you're waking up, you'll think, oh my gosh, that's the answer. Because in those times, you're letting your brain relax and think about nothing. When you aren't consciously thinking about something, we're giving our mind time to wander and be creative, and that's when our subconscious can speak. So that's a really interesting take, isn't it? So the cards we just got then, we got 4 cards up. I'll just run through them again. We got, first up, when we were talking about the masculine and feminine energy, we got passion and pleasure. Okay, savor your life. You have this life. We need to enjoy it. We need to love why we're here. And this embodied those 2 archetypal energies, the masculine and the feminine, with the fire for the passion and the direction. Then we had, what was this one? Choosing your path, and a reminder that everything is possible. And for me, what is interesting about this card as well, that knight there has such Archangel Michael energy. The sword, the stance, the blonde hair has that energy for me. Then we had desert passage. And just a reminder to trust, because there is a divine plan. There is a divine plan. So we need to trust in it and just take the leap. I always say, take the leap. The universe has got you. The universe has you. And then the final card was that reminder of, if we're struggling to work out what that is, take a respite, take shelter, take a moment. Give the brain time to think. All right, so that was really great. Now, the other thing we want to do just really quickly is the energy of the dragons. The energy of the dragons. And I have no idea what's going to come out here. These cards always give me some really interesting things. This is For the Love of Dragons, and it is by, who is that by? Written by Angie Sulins. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And artwork is by Amy Brown. So Angie, yeah, it's a lovely deck, but I get some really interesting answers out of it. So let's see what comes up. So right now I'm being shown the dragon energy and how we can embody the dragon energy. And what was interesting, I was just about to say I'm seeing 2. I'm seeing one that's orange and one that is purple and pink. And then this card came out. Can you see that? Sorry, the camera's not that great. It says the Daydreamer, and it's got a purple dragon. The Daydreamer. Beautiful card, isn't it? So this leads into the message we just got about taking time for us to think, let the brain be creative, let our subconscious speak, let us drop the entire deck. Oh, these are such a beautiful deck, and I love the fact that they glide. Look how beautiful these are. And they've got a lovely pink foil, which I just love. And they glide so well that I do have a tendency to drop them. Okay, so, and they're saying something goes with that one that just came out. Something goes. So what goes with that, please? The dragon energy, what are the dragons trying to share about getting onto our path? Okay, there's one more. Okie dokie. So what came up here? We've got 3, and we've got this master energy here, which is, let's try and get that up so you can see it. The Sunstormer. Now you can see by that card alone, we've got that fire energy again, haven't we? The element of fire, which is about passion and moving us forward. So the Sunstormer, staying on our path. And what have we got there? Feminine energy. Very, very powerful feminine energy again. And then we got 2 cards that are really interesting. So to me, these speak to some of the barriers and obstacles that we might be having. So we've got the Icebreaker. The Icebreaker? Icebringer, sorry, I'm reading that wrong. The Icebringer. To me, this card is always about uncovering those obstacles or overcoming those barriers. So, seeing them for what they are, not making mountains out of molehills, being able to see them and deal with them and move forward. Don't let an obstacle in the path become the reason you stop. Make it be the reason that you open another door and take another opportunity. And the other card that came out is number 11 and is the Moon Dancer. For me, this card is always, can you see that? It doesn't want to focus, does it? This card is always for me about self-reflection, the Moon Dancer, because the moon is about nighttime. It's about taking that respite. So for me, this card is all about taking the time to reflect. And interesting, we've got the energy of the purple dragon again, haven't we? I wonder if there's something in there about the purple ray, bringing in the purple ray, activating the purple ray. Something to think on there. So I think there's been some really interesting messages. I didn't intend for this video to go that way at all. But anyway, we will take it where it needs to be. I hope that's been really interesting for you, but remembering that energy. So calling in that feminine energy, whether you are male or female, doesn't matter. We each have that duality. So calling in both sides of ourselves and using the part that makes sense for where we are every day. If you need help with that, calling in the energy of Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. If you need that strength and that support, you've got the energy of Kali Ma you can call on. We've also got that dragon energy. We had the orange and the purple dragon. That is such powerful energy, such powerful movement. So if you need help to move forward, you can call on the energy of them as well. So thank you for tuning into this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.